Good morning and welcome to another 6th Gen Farmer. Now today we're going to be taking my 1975-ish 6,000 high cycle sprayer and adding auto steer to it. This is something that some of you probably saw coming. I was actually not planning on doing this year, but something happened. There's a story to be told. I'll tell it in a little bit. So before I tell the story, I went on the eBays, the eWebs, and I bought myself a John Deere ATU 200. So this ATU is Auto Track Universal. It's literally a steering wheel with a motor on it that goes over top of your normal steering wheel. So I take the steering wheel off, put that one on, and then the monitor will physically turn the steering wheel, and that's how it auto steers. I know this is a 200. They have a 300 out that's quite a bit better, but this was cheap. This actually came straight out of China for 600 bucks, and then I got a full wiring harness for another couple hundred. So I'm like $800 total into this. If you were to buy new through John Deere, I think the steering wheel itself is about 1,800 bucks plus another 400 bucks for a harness. So hopefully this works. I don't really need it for much. I just need it to work. Yeah. And what's really nice about this steering wheel is that I can actually take it off my sprayer after I'm done spraying and put it on my combine, on the 8820, and get auto steer on that, which would be super cool. Actually, that'd be a lot more useful than it would be on this, the sprayer. So basically I need to wrestle this old steering wheel off, put this one on, get an anti-rotation bracket on it, and I'll explain that all here in a little bit, and then get it all wired up and test it out. But easier said than done. So, Carson, you have 220 acres. Why in the heck are you adding auto steer to your sprayer? Isn't that just a waste of money? And yes it is. But here's my reasoning. I have one cornfield this year, 40 acres, and it's corn on corn. And my fertilizer plan is to broadcast spray 32% over top, and then come back after the crop's grown and side dress some more 32%. Now, I was talking with my agronomist, and he said the first 32% that you spray, and I'll be spraying it with a sprayer, would be really, really nice if you could spray it before you go out and you dig up the ground and you field cultivate it. That way it gets incorporated into the soil and you don't lose any to evaporation or anything else. And I said, that's great. That makes a lot of sense. The problem is that if I don't have any rows to follow, I am absolutely driving out there blind. And I would be overlapping and skipping like crazy, and it'd just be really, really bad. So I needed some sort of guidance to help me out. And I found this ATU really cheap on eBay. So I bought it in the thoughts of I'll use it once for my sprayer, and then I'll take it off and I'll put it on my combine. So that way, let's say I have some soybeans that aren't feeding very well, I can set an angle and then drive at an angle, which actually does help quite a bit in certain scenarios. So that's my reasoning. That's how I'm justifying it. Yeah. Now to wrestle this. Did that just break loose? Okay. That broke loose. That's the easy part. The next part, actually getting the steering wheel off the hub, is the hard part. Now, my local John Deere dealer has a steering wheel puller that I could probably borrow, but oh boy, I gotta go down there anyways. It's 11:30. I'll try to get this off for 20 minutes, and if I don't, then I will go get their steering wheel puller. In the meantime, nothing. This will be fun. Good thing I don't care about the steering wheel too much. So I'm gonna head to town and grab the steering wheel puller, but before I do that, I actually have another thing that needs to be done here, and that is this steering wheel, or the wheel in the front, sucks. It is absolutely cracked, it's pretty bald, and it's not a steering tire, it's an implement tire. So I have basically zero control of the front end, and trying to control, well, first of all, trying to steer and control this thing is really nearly impossible. And then if you put auto steer on it, it's just gonna be even worse. So I have a brand new tire for the Frontier. So I'm gonna grab the forklift, lift up the front end, remove this tire, take it to town with me, get the new tire put on, and then put that back on. So it's ready to go for the spring. I like to make sure that everything I do is OSHA approved. Gorgeous. Okay. So if you look at this tire, you'll notice that it has these things on it. So back before they had GPS speed sensors, they had wheel speed sensors. So there's a sensor hung off the side of the tire here, and as the tire spun, it would hit these magnets and it could determine how fast the sprayer was going. So that's what those are. And then previous owner welded a guard over the valve stem, which is kind of neat. Never seen that before, but yeah, I got a much better tire to go on this, so I'm gonna go do that now. So, John Deere dealer did not have a steering wheel puller. Well, I think they do have a steering wheel puller, but the guy who has a puller, the mechanic that has a puller, was sick today. So, I am gonna make my own. Oh, this tire looks so much better. Well, good news is that looking through the shop, I found this, and it's not quite perfect, but I think it'll work. So I got it kind of tightened down. Now I should just be able to spin this and then not spin the steering wheel, and it should pop out. Oh, right out. Huh. That was incredibly easy once I got this. And now, this is the spline that is supposed to fit over the top of this direction. Yeah. Okay. Easy enough. Just gotta put this in the ATU, put the ATU on. Theoretically, I got a auto steer sprayer, 6,000 high cycle. Okay, let's see if I got all the right stuff here. You'll notice on the bottom, I got this bracket that I installed. Now this clamps onto the steering post, so that way when the motor spins, it spins the steering wheel and not the entire console. Otherwise that'd be a bad day. Now, there's a ton of different of these brackets, and the 6,000 high cycle is kind of a weird one in the fact that there's really not one bracket for it. I mean, there is, but there isn't. It's hard to explain, but we're just gonna see if I can get this to slide on like it needs to. Just like that. Well, I don't have any of the harnessing installed yet, but it is working. Can't hardly see the wheel, but the steering is working. Oh crap. Why did I just lose the... It was working, now it's loose. Uh-oh. I installed it incorrectly. Redo. I didn't have the splines all the way on, and I had the anti-rotation bracket in the wrong spot, but it's all together now. I lightly put on the bolt for the steering because, first of all, it's not gonna come off. Second of all, once I get my pre-plant stuff sprayed, I don't need this ATU anymore. And in fact, I'll probably take it off right away, because once I have rows I can follow, I just don't need it. I'll probably just drive myself. But until I have rows, this is kind of needed. So I got everything wired up. Got my display in here, got an Agri GPS CRG in the roof, got that all calibrated. We are all good to go. This is working for manual steering. Now, I've done a little bit of testing. If I hit this button and then I engage it, hear that? I think that is the sound of a dead ATU steering wheel. Luckily, I bought this on eBay, and eBay does have really good buyer protection, so I'm guessing I get my money back. That means I need to purchase another one. I don't know, I should probably just spend the money and buy a new ATU 300, to be honest. I've heard they're just so much better, and everything else that I have will work with the ATU 300. I just need an adapter cable. I think that's the way it's probably gonna go. But I posted something on a forum on Facebook that I'm part of to see if this is fixable. Maybe it's just like a chain or something that's like 20 bucks and I can fix it, but I'm guessing probably not. So we will see. So after looking at it a little bit, looks like I can pop these little plastic pins out of the back and actually remove it and see if it's like a gear or a chain or something. I have messaged you seller on eBay, but this is something that I could easily do after dark inside. So I want to see if my new fuel tank, transfer tank works that I built in the last video. So my sprayer here is like a half tank of fuel. Thought, what the heck? Let's put some fuel in the tank and see if I can get it to fill up my sprayer here while it's nice and warm outside. Not only will this let me know if my pump and everything works and my filter, but it'll also let me know if I have any leaks. I'm not gonna put that, I don't know, 10, 15 gallons in it maybe. Not gonna fill it full by any means. Okay, test this baby out. I got the pump way down low to get it primed. Might help if I turn this valve on. Apparently it's just pumping air. That sounds better. Hey! It worked good for a little bit. Okay, I filled it up further and I must have got enough pressure to get through that filter because it's working much better now. That's actually usable. Good. A few days have gone by since you've seen the last part of this video, but I got a package in here, ATU 300. We're gonna put this in the sprayer and see if we actually got a steering wheel that works this time. So I've been doing a bunch of research into the ATU 200 to see if there's any fixes for it. And there really isn't. If the motor's shot, then the motor's shot. There's no replacements, and all the controls for the ATU are in the motor. I thought I could maybe just buy a new stepper motor and throw it in. You really can't. So the only thing that I've seen is somebody said if you got grinding in the motor, if you take, there's two parts in the motor. If you take one part out, put it in a lathe, take just a little bit off, they say you can get it to work again. So I still have it. Maybe someday I'll get it taken apart and have my friend who has a lathe take a look at it, but I'm not very hopeful. Ooh, that's actually a lot lighter, which is good. Okay. Just pop this on. Like this. What's different? Oh, I put the angle bracket on the wrong side. Well, guess I'll redo it. Okay, I got on the right direction this time. There we go. Gosh, they made this a lot longer, and I had to, there's like an extra 3 inches now. Okay, I gotta get this little nut in there. I don't know how that's gonna work. But in my pocket, I got the last little part to go over here. Okay, so I got it all installed. I am outside. I got it calibrated, and I set up a test line. Now I'm just gonna test it out. It took a while to get calibrated. Okay, hit the button. I mean, within a couple inches, that ain't bad. Took a while to find the line, but could be worse. Okay, give it one more shot. Let's go a little faster. Hopefully this doesn't wreck the mic. 3 inches, 2, 1, 0, 1. Also, we're driving in snow, which is probably not this sprayer's favorite thing in the world to drive through, so that seems pretty good. Field should be kind of frozen. Maybe I should go bounce to the field and try it. Switching over to my phone for this one. Got second gear, like half throttle, got a line set in a bumpy field that's kind of slimy. Okay, did it engage? It did not engage. Engage. There we go. Oh my gosh, this is how I'm going to be spraying this year. I mean, it's bouncy, but it's holding the line, if you can see it at all. It's kind of holding the line. Got 10 inches off there. Let's put her in third. Oh, my monitor's falling. It's actually doing better than I thought it would. I will admit. This is terribly bumpy though. No suspension in a frozen ripped field. Oh.